So I just realised after I got here that my mic had unplugged itself, so we need to redo everything that you're going to see the ending of at the end of this video. So yeah, let's try to do this again. I'm going to say all the words different because I don't script things, but anyway, what can you do? So hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker for the second time today for me. And today what we're going to be talking about is a bike sharing thing website called RidersShare. Now, what is RidersShare and why am I talking about it? Like I said, it's a system where you can rent bikes from other people, kind of like Airbnb, but for bikes. And the reason we're talking about it is because I recently used it in Tampa to rent some bikes, and you know, people have been showing an interest in it, so that is why we're talking about it. I rented two bikes. I rented a Harley Davidson Softail Slim, and I also rented a Yamaha Striker. So both were good bikes, but they came from kind of very different renters, or rental people, and we'll talk about them in a bit. One thing I did mention earlier in the last video, and you know, I don't want to sound disingenuous by bringing it up again, but I do think it was spontaneous earlier. I just remember saying it, so I want to say it. You know, I've been watching the TT obviously a lot because it's on at the moment. And I'm never going to lecture anyone about riding fast or anything like that because I haven't the leg to stand on. But just be careful, especially on roads like this. You know, there's plenty of places where cars can pull out of. You know, we've had quite a few accidents here lately, and all I will say is just be on your guard. Because unfortunately, the fact is, even if people actually aren't out to kill you, a car is a very big obstacle, so is a truck. And they're going to win in every single collision, no matter who's right. So it's not about who's right in these things, it's about who lives. And not to put a downer on the video, I just want to, you know, just give the old keep an eye out for yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. So always watch for yourself, look for entrances, etc., and ride to the situation and ride to your abilities, and we'll all keep each other safe on the road that way. Anyway, so what are the good things about RidersShare? One thing that jumped out at me straight away that I really liked was the insurance. So you can get full insurance that basically reduced your excess to the crash bike down to like $100, and after that everything else was covered by insurance. That was good on the bikes I rented. It did get a little bit more expensive and whatever else on fancier newer bikes, or you know, bikes that cost, you know, upwards of $30,000 new. Which I mean is understandable, because that's how insurance works. But the fact it was there was very nice. I did like that. Other things I really liked were the choice on the app were excellent. You know, I've been asked why I didn't try Twisted Road, and I am a follower of Ari Henning, so I do really want to try Twisted Road, but definitely the choice on RidersShare was much better than Twisted Road. And how I found out about RidersShare was we were in Bert's Barracuda Harley Davidson, and one of the guys at the counter recommended I try that one for choice, so thank you very much. I can't remember your name, I think it might have been Aaron, but yeah, appreciate it, because that's how I got my bikes rented, so that was cool. The other thing then is their website is very good. You know, nice and clear on the bikes and where they are, so the location was really obvious, and which was important because obviously I had to get an Uber to collect the bikes, or ask one of my colleagues to drive me over to actually collect them. So you know, I didn't want to be going too far for it or whatever else. That was important to me, that you know, that I could see where they were on the map. So that little map feature, you basically put in your search criteria, how much you want to spend or whatever else, and it will show you exactly on the map where the bikes are. Well, not exactly, actually it does hide the absolute location to protect the owner of the bike, which I think is a great idea, so that also gets a thumbs up for me. And you get the final location when you actually pay the rental, you know, it gets revealed. And that kind of follows through then. Another thing I really liked was the protection that exists there for both the renter and the owner of the bike. You know, there's a check-in and check-out feature, oh that's stones, that I really liked. Basically, as you're collecting the bike, you have to take a load of photos all around the bike. You have to get the odometer in there, because some of them are mileage limited per day, so that was important as well. But basically that's a really good feature, because you have to basically take the same photos again for checkout and then verify them against one another. And basically you know, if you have a dodgy owner who says, oh well, they did this to my bike or whatever else, you know, that's absolutely, you can just go back and compare the photos and say, well, they're clearly lying, because that didn't happen. As you can see, the scratch was there both before and after, nothing to do with me. So I did like that check in and check out feature, and it's something that I'd actually really like to see on more kind of car rental things, because I rent a lot of cars for work, and you know, you can get absolutely shafted on those if you don't have the insurance, which, you know, I always do because it's work, so I'm not taking on any risk for that, and that's not my baby. And I completely forgot to mention, actually, there's also like a roadside assistance package and stuff for $10 a day, which I also found was a very nice little one to have, because that's one that I definitely did buy, because if you get a puncture or something out in the country that you're not from, you don't have a support system there, whatever else, you know, family and friends to call on, that little $9 a day or $10 a day or whatever it was is really good. It's a really nice to have. That brings us on to the bad. So what's kind of bad about the app? I mean, and overall, I keep calling it an app, but as one of the bads is, there actually isn't an app for it. At least not on Android on the Google Play Store, which I do think is a miss on their part, because it's a little bit more awkward. What is going on here? Are you seriously stopping to take a picture on the crest of a bridge? Like, dope. But yeah, so the other thing then is they don't have an app on the Google Play App Store, which is a loss. It just makes things harder to track. I wasn't uber impressed by that. You know, I do think that they should have an app there. Now, maybe one exists on Apple Play or whatever else, but I don't have an Apple and I probably never will, so that doesn't really matter to me if it does exist there. So definitely the app. The other thing I would say then is the difference, I suppose, between... Oh no, that's terrible. The difference between the cost you see. So when you search bikes, you'll see like $70. But if you, once you get your charge for RidersShare, you know, the charge they charge you to rent through them. Oh, this bike sounds great. And you also get your insurance. The cost is a lot greater. In some cases it was, you know, more than double for some of the bikes and whatever else, which I just think that's not something I really like. I would rather see them closer together. You know, I would rather see upfront people know, you know, this is what I should be expecting to pay, rather than get through all their you know, their clicks and stuff and getting excited about a bike and then realizing that they actually can't afford it. That sucks a little bit, and it's not something that I support. I would much rather see, you know, even like, why does everyone always say starting from? Why not say like max price is and work down from there, so people have a realistic image of, okay, can I actually afford this? That's something I would like. And also, you know, as good as the insurance was, the insurance for instance, for I don't know, I'm not sure what's going on here. The insurance for like a day tripper like myself was very expensive. Now maybe that insurance was, you know, obviously for, maybe it covers like up to a week or something, I don't know. If it's per day, it's extremely expensive, so there'd be something, that'd be something if I was to talk to RidersShare, I'd say maybe have a look at that, maybe make the insurance side of it more affordable for the rider, because I mean that protects the rider, it protects the owner. At the end of the day, it's just a benefit to all. Let's see how this goes here. Nice. You know, that's only going to make everything, you know, not more accessible, but better for everyone. And yeah, the last thing then is the differences. So all of the prices are very similar, including the insurance and whatever else. But definitely, and this is just something I think it's just the nature of the beast, that it's people renting out their bikes. There's quite a difference in some cases between the bike rentals. Like Lee was running his bike rentals pretty much professionally, you know what I mean? He had a load of bikes, they were all basically brand new. They were just really well kept, really well kept. And you know, you'd be utmost confidence jumping onto them. And not that I didn't have confidence jumping onto the Harley, but definitely there were some customizations made and whatever else that were not from a functional perspective, they were from a cool perspective. And you know, the bike was definitely not in the tippy top of shape the lees were. You know, the clutch needed tightening, stuff, just small stuff. Like, the bike was absolutely usable. I would rent it again. But you know, just to be aware that the differences between, I suppose, the different rentals can be a lot. That is important to note, I think. But yeah, that's about the only thing that I'd really want to, I suppose, mention is, you know, the good, and there's plenty of good. It's a really good system, really good setup to protect both the rider, the renter, and the owner. It's a, you know, there's really good that there's insurance there, there's really good choice. And then the bad is, it's just, it can get expensive, and it's not really shown up front. And if I wasn't so hell-bent on renting a bike this time in America, you know, it definitely could have nudged me towards I don't think I can afford this side of the coin, because I mean, they were not cheap. They were not cheap. I think the Striker was $180 for the day, and the Harley Davidson wasn't far off that. It was a little bit cheaper because I had a first time renters kind of discount, but definitely not cheap at all. The reason I didn't go the Eagle Rider route or anything like that is just because the Eagle Rider didn't really do day rates, and if you wanted to rent it on a Sunday, you had to collect it at 10 AM and drop it back by 3 PM. So like, forget it. Just, that's one thing Eagle Rider definitely not set up for, you know, weekend day renters like myself, which is a pity. And that's one of the biggest things I do like about RidersShare, is the fact that, you know, you have that support for people who are just there for a day and want to rent a bike for a day. There's a really good system there around scheduling and everything else. I have to say, I am a fan of the app and how it's set up. I keep saying app, but website. I'm a fan of how the website is set up. I think they've done a great job in it. I think it makes a lot of sense how they've done it. So yeah, well done, RidersShare. Now we will travel back in time to finish off the video, because I already kind of recorded all those bits, and hopefully you can hear me on the GoPro because we were stopped. So yeah, hopefully it works out. But that's kind of you know, all I would say about all of that. You know, the fact that there's no app, big difference in the actual price that you see versus what you pay, which I don't like. It's kind of disingenuous, I think. Maybe not by design, but I would rather see that in a way that kind of reflects some form of the true price. And definitely the insurance thing, I would much rather see like day rates a lot lower for the full insurance, because really and truly these are other people's bikes as well. It's good for all parties if everyone has the full insurance, I suppose. Yeah. To finish up then, would I use it again? Would I recommend it? Absolutely. I think RidersShare is a great system. Like I said, I'd like to try Twisted Road in the future just to see are there any major differences, but Twisted Road versus RidersShare for now, I would absolutely use RidersShare again, 100%. I had zero issues. You know, it's a very professional setup for something that is, you know, nearly like peer-to-peer rental. Obviously RidersShare do the middleman stuff and supply the insurance and all that. Not that they're the underwriter, but they're the ones who set it up. So it's a really good system to have in place there, and one that you know, I don't think this sort of stuff would be possible without someone like that there. So that was really cool to see, and really good to see that, you know, I suppose someone is willing to take on that business burden. I'm sure they made plenty of money out of it, but still, you know, it's a risk, and you know, pretenders could arise that would knock you off your throne. So you know, it's a lot of investment that they put into it, and it's really cool to see. So, you know, thanks to everyone who takes the risk on renting their bikes, and also the likes of RidersShare who get that sort of system set up and in place, because it's cool to see. It's cool to see, and definitely something that I would recommend you give a go if you're out traveling. Just like I said, watch that final price versus the price that you've seen up front that you're going to pay, because it's definitely not the same, and that's something that I would like a little bit more clarity over. Is it something I would like to see in Ireland? Absolutely. To be honest, I think it'd be great. I would definitely like to rent out some of my bikes, because then it would be a great excuse for me to own more bikes too. The only thing that about it is, you know, there'd have to be more controls over it, because not even more controls. I just think it'd be hard to get it to a point that everyone was happy with the bikes that they were renting and the renter. And obviously, look, those kind of after action reports, you know, the reviews after the fact, they matter and they count. But someone's going to get caught out. You know, the first person to rent is going to get caught out that way. So it's not the perfect system. The only thing I can see about it being a complication in Ireland is, you know, currently the system we have in place for speeding fines and stuff is you get penalty points on your license. And so because that bike is registered to me, and if someone got penalty points while they were on it for speeding, those would automatically be sent to me, and then I would have to go through a process to obviously get rid of them. So there'd have to be some stuff around that you register that you are renting your vehicles or whatever else. And insurance in Ireland is also a bit of a madhouse, so there'd have to be some stuff done there as well. But definitely it's something I would love to see. I'd love to rent out the likes of the Falco, the CBF, and maybe even the Gixxer. Maybe not the Gixxer though, because you know the Magna and the Gixxer are speciale. So but the CBF and the Falco I would absolutely love to do. And the thing is as well, you know, the likes of Lee, he gave us some great advice on where to go and what to do and stuff on the bikes, and that's something I'm obviously passionate about because I do it anyway on the channel. So that's something that would be really cool. But let me know in the comments, what do you think? Would you like to see it in your area? Would you rent one of my bikes? Would you rent out your own bikes? Is it something that you're going to try in the future? I know, like I said, I'll definitely be using RidersShare again at some point in my life. And that's it. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know, have you ever heard of RidersShare before this video? And yeah, would you now use it since you've watched it? Maybe RidersShare give me an old free rental at some point. But yeah, like I said, the feedback I would give to RidersShare is definitely look at your insurance and look at the clarity of your upfront pricing. That's two things I would love to see personally. And yeah, if you watch, thank you very much for watching. As always, a very special thank you to all of my patrons. You're all absolute legends, and I do really appreciate the support that you have given me, both now and in the past. Yeah, there's actually a couple of my patrons have recently gone back to watch all of my earlier videos when I mentioned them in the last video, and because I hadn't seen them. And if you do that, I apologize. They're not very good, and the audio is even worse than good. But they're there, they exist. So yeah, if you do go back and watch them, let me know. But like I said, yeah, special thank you to all of my patrons. And until next time, thank you very much again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. What do you think of this spot here? You know, the only thing is, this is a really cool little area to come. I wanted to come here just to get a picture of the bike here, because I'm a loser. And the round tower is over there, which is very much worth coming to see. But why? Why? I just don't understand littering. Like, there's plenty of bins, and if you can bring the rubbish to here to eat out of it, you can bring it home. Really pisses me off a lot. Anyway, let me know what you think of litters. Do they suck? I think they suck. Anyway, bye. Let's do one more pull, shall we? There we go. That was fun.